and welcome back to Beekeeping Basics with Danny. So we're in the apiary, and today what we're going to do is we're going to get the honey supers out with this one and that one, downsize these. We'll get the happy stand in there for the Varroa, and maybe shuffle a few frames around because I think I'm going to have a few that aren't ready and maybe some that are within potentially their super, which I'm going to leave them. But we'll see what's what. I mean, if there's a couple of fully capped ones in there, but up here there's a couple that's virtually there but not capped, then to obviously give me to get the room that I need to take these off and bring them down, I may potentially just do a swap over with them. But we'll go in there, we'll have a look, we'll see what's what. I have got a blower, maybe just to blow some bees off the frames. As you can see, it is about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's Friday the 16th, I do believe. So they're all busy. I've got a bit of sun coming in. When that sun comes in, they are very busy. And then what I'm going to do is, once I've got these out, obviously I need to go straight indoors and we're going to extract them. And then I can get, later in the day, I can bring them empty frames back out, put them back on that hive, and then let the bees clean them all off so they're all nice and clean, ready for me to freeze and then get stored away. It's this time of the season, it's beautiful sun still, we're in the middle of August, and you think, oh really, they're still busy, the flow's still going. But that is the question, is the flow still going? They are in and out of here with pollen, lots of pollen still, but it's this time of the year where you need to get the apivar strips, apistand strips in there, because the bees are now, the mornings are getting darker, the evenings are getting darker. The queen will do less eggs. She won't lay as much now, and what she is laying, we need to get treated for Varroa. So we've got a good strong Varroa count colony, going through for the winter. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get in there, make a start. Okay, so we did have an empty, this super, there was 2 frames in. Last time we looked in here, there was 2 frames in here. Lots of earwigs again, look, really annoys me. There was 2 frames in there that had been combed out. I thought to myself, if I can just get some of them combed out, then it's something that nothing, I'm not expecting a honey super right now, but what I am kind of expecting is maybe some more combed out. But we'll get the hive tool, we'll open it up, get the relevant tools to hand I need. I've got the smoker on the go, so we'll have a look. I've stuck this down already, that's a good sign. Oh, and they're really busy up there. All at the top, look. Got a few bees here. So I have a few. Somehow I managed to squash a few maybe last time I was doing whatever I was doing. I hate that. I'll put this down by the entrance. And I'm not expecting, to be fair, anything up here. We'll have a look anyway. Yeah, so we've got nothing, nothing, nothing. Like I say, I wasn't expecting anything. Nothing, yeah, so these are the 2 that's been combed out, which is still just being combed out. It's just 2 in there. Yeah. And the rest are just literally. Started with that one there. No. And the rest is just literally empty. So we'll move this box over. Put that there, like so. Now these are the ones obviously that we're going to have a better look at, because these are the ones that we're going to be extracting today. We will obviously check through them all first. Get a bit of smoke on them. Smoke them down, I think. So let's have a look what we've got. The biggest thing, last time I'd done these, have you seen in any of my previous videos, the last time I lost my queen, so there wasn't a great deal of bees on these honey supers, whereas today there is. See, like that one, we may pot down into theirs and swap it for a fully capped one. I'll have a look, I'll have a look at it. Let's see. But as you can see, they're ready to extract. Just a case of me getting the bees off of them. And again, really nice. Checking for each one, making sure that they are ready. As you can see that they are. And I won't remove the bees until I've done what I need to do, because all I'm going to do is force them down onto that next super. I'm just about to look in there, so I potentially have one in here that I could, as it stands at the moment, move around. Well, that one's not completely ready, as you can see. Again, that's one I could potentially swap with whatever they have in their super that I'm going to leave them. That's nice and ready. And again, that's okay. It's amazing, you know, what they do. When you get to this time, you know, harvest time, and you look at your frames. And that one, so there's potentially, I'd say, 3 in there that I can shift about for better ones. So what we'll do is we're going to move this one off. move that one on there like so. I'm going to put the lid back on that, the crown board back on that for the time being, because we do have the wasps munging around. So, start here. You know, you don't just want to grab your super box. I think, you know, you need to do your checks, making sure that they are ready. You know, last thing you want to do is just presume that they're ready and start blowing the bees out, walking off with them. Lovely frames of honey. That's a cracking frame of honey there, look. Really is. That one on one side, it's not completed, but that one is. And these are the ones I shifted around last time in my last video, so they haven't really, I think the flow is definitely over. I haven't done any more. Again, that one, what kind of hope is that they haven't actually been eating it. Can't see that they would have been. You never know. That's a good one. But either way, I've got to, you know, these have got to go today. I've got to do what I've got to do to get my Verona strips in there. You know, that's right now for me the most important part of all. We do have a hive with a heck of a lot of bees in it, so it's just how small can you go with it? You know, when you take all these off, you know, you potentially, I might have to, what I do is put that empty super on there to give them the room. Okay, so a few dead drones are kicking about in here. Let's get them out, saves one less job for the bees to do. See, it's this time of year now where the bees are kicking the drones out. And the little bee there is stuck on the honey. She's stuck on the honey. So I've moved that one over onto here as well. The bees are going to be a little bit angsty because they know I'm actually, you know, messing with their honey right now. So we do have their drones on there. A few, not many. just put that aside. I'm not going to shake all them off. So these are the ones I'm going to potentially swap about. These is what I'm going to leave the queen. Obviously we do need to make sure now we don't have a queen anywhere present, because she is going to be in here. What I may do is do my check actually first and foremost. So we'll put that, like we always do, we'll put that one onto here first. God, that was really stuck. They do really stick them down. I'm going to move that over onto there. No, we need to get the queen excluder on there. Bad move. First. That wasn't the best of moves, because we do have the queen that could be in this box. So and we'll put the crown board back on. So you've got to be careful. You can't make silly mistakes like that. Look, queen could have been on there. I had to put it down. Just checking the floor. Have a check in here for our queen, and just check what laying room she's got. I'm not just going to whip these supers off and not do any kind of checks. It'd be silly of me. I've got the hive open. Need to see what's what. I'll start with this one, being very gentle. You know, queen could be on it. If I'd have pulled the frame out last week, the very first frame out of that end, she would have been on it straight away, because it got me to the last frame. This is when I found the queen. So checking the cells, move this one aside. Just checking around where they're huddled about. Okay, so move that one aside. Just gonna have a little check in there. Very sticky. There's a bit of lamb room there. I'm guessing we're still, you know, not far from this cap brood emerging. I wouldn't have thought we could be, you know, within days of that happening. So there does seem to be room there. Again, just checking that we don't have the queen on here, because I do like to see her whilst doing my checks. She has a bit of room in there. Just check that that's not eggs in there. Got the sun on it. Does definitely help, because you can see in them a lot clearer. And it is actually really warm today. I'm sweating already. Literally, I'm sweating already. Look at the cap brood on that, look. Completely, she's still banging the eggs out. And this is why you need to be checking what room she's got. And also just making sure we don't have no queen cells in there. Can't see our queen on there anywhere. silly, yes, you may think. Dead mouse in the bottom of there. But you never know. Why, you got it open. Have a look. Have a look in there. It's prime time. Quick look around first, just to see if I can see the queen on there before I check the actual. Again, there's quite a bit of cat brood on that. No sign of any queen. So again, I'll drop that one in there, close it up, nice and tight. Very busy bees today. Very, very busy. Definitely need the smoker today because I'm struggling to actually get hold of the handles right now. So quick check first off all around for the queen. Can't see her. Oh, there she is. That's good. So, have our queen here. Red dot on her again, as we always know. And she's got a nice empty frame there, so that's probably why she's on that. I'm going to get that back in there. Nice and safe, nice and gently. Leave her doing what she does best. Relieves me of going through these damn sight quicker now because I'm only looking for room, not the queen. So, and again, it's better when I get the sun on it. Nice empty frame. And that's what we want. Lots of laying room. So I do believe that's probably cat brood that's emerged. It's freed us up a nice bit of room. So if we continue like that, that'll be great for me. Lots of larvae in that one where she has been laying in that one. It's nice when the sun's on it and you can see in there. It looks nice and freshly white, clean. Again, that's just what we want to see. She's got laying room again. So, yeah, that's really good. And if you don't want your bees to swarm, especially this time of year, you really don't. You know, we're on the last knocking days of getting any kind of queen to introduce into your hives if something went wrong. Lots of pollen. Cat brood, larvae, everything that we need to see, and some room. Do have play cup. I'm going to remove that. And again, let's have another look. So checking in the bottom of the hive each time you pull a frame out where you've got the space in the room. Larvae in there. Drone brood. And laying room. So, you know, that's good enough for me. I'm going to hang around with it. I've got a lot to do today. There's no way I was just going to pull off them supers and just hope that everything was okay in this hive. Save me going into here for a little while. Drone brood there, bobbly bits, it's male brood in there, male bees. Same that side. Again, laying room. As you can see, you know, with the queen laying her eggs, she's going to start not doing as many now, and I think you can actually see that already. That she's starting to not lay so many. Lots of bees doing the waggle dance in there. So what we'll do is get that back in there, get this other one in, and then we can get and check the supers to see if I need to change any of them around. Nice slight squeeze, but we've done it. So we'll get some of these down so I don't squash any whilst we put the next box back on the top of this. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to lift this one on. Oh, sorry if I kill any, but making sure that when you put it back on, you put it on nice and square, like so. Right, now we can move this back off, put it back where we was going to, put this onto there, and now we'll have a look what honey supers they've got in here that are full up that I can potentially swap over for partly ones done of mine. Wiping the face because it is very warm. We'll have a look what temperature it is in a minute, but I reckon it's about 22 degrees, something like that. So let's have a look. Again, still need to be relatively careful because that queen could have come up here. Making sure that she didn't, because she was in this vicinity. Don't want to go moving that over, and she was on it. So that's really good frame there. And what we'll do is make sure the queen's not on there, and we're going to swap this one over. For one that's not done as well. This is the tricky bit because I don't know where to put them. So if we go into this one, we find one that's not done as well. Like that one, for instance. It's more, we've got an empty bit there. It's got this empty bit all round here. So they will work on that over the coming weeks. So that's going to be theirs. And what we do is we'll put this one into here, because this is the box that I'll be taking with me. Let me have a look what ones else I need to potentially swap around. I reckon they're going to be anywhere. They're going to be on these outsides. That's a good one. You can generally feel the weight if you've got an empty super or not. That one I could potentially swap around. So what we'll do is we'll put that one in there. Don't know whether the camera's actually on that. Yeah, it is. So let's have a look what we got. That's got cat brood in that. Just making sure coins not on there. So again, won't be taking that. If they're going to be anywhere, they're more than likely they're going to be on the outsides, not the middle. Lots of cat brood on there and on there. I will work my way through. That's a decent one. Just shake off the bees as much as I can. That's a nice one. I'll swap that for, what one was it? I should have counted through, silly mistake. That one. It's not capped over, but the cells are all full up. That side's relatively good. So I'll swap that with that. I can do what they need to do on there. I'll put this one, I say, which is better, into here. And we'll have another look. There's another one I could potentially swap over because it's very similar. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth one in. And again, that's a nice one. So we'll do a swap over with that to this. So what did I say? Fourth one in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's not taking anything from the bees. I'm just taking a better frame. So that's completely packed out. But again, this side, it's got virtually full up. We just need to cap it off. So I'm going to swap that with that, because these are going to be the bees for over winter. I'm not going to rob them of any honey and leave them none. So just a better frame to take. Just check these other ones, see what I've got here. What I could potentially do again. That one's fine for extraction. Because what I'll do, if I've got no more here, I'll move this out of the way. That one, yes, extract. I'm pretty sure that this last one is fine. Yeah, relatively good. What we will do is have a look at the rest of these. Let's get some smoke on there. Never good when you're sweating over a hive. Lots of different pollen and that on there. See, they've got lots of stalls for themselves. So this will be their honey super that I'm going to leave on there for them. That's very light, so there is laying room for the queen in that one, which is good as well. And again, I can feel the weight in this. There's cat brood in there, so yeah, that will stay. A bit more laying room for the queen in that one as well, which is always good. That's light, so don't even need to. I'll say you know the minute you pick up one of these frames by the weight in them. That's relatively heavy, and it's quite a good. What are these on the floor? What I'll do is I'll spin that one around. Again, that's a potential one there that could be changed. What do we have with this one? That was okay. So what we could do here is put this, put these two back in. Did shake that and I shook most of them bloody bees onto the floor, which I'm really annoyed about now. Didn't want to do that. So we're gonna put that queen excluder back on there. Smoke them down first. We have to really smoke these down to get the queen excluder on there, because this queen excluder sits really tight on this. And it tends to squash a lot of the bees. They don't want to move, look. Come on. Come on, bees. Go down. That's better. Okay. So, moving them away. So we can get this on. Like so. For the minute is move these out of the way. Move this aside. 1, 2. Put this onto here. Come on, bees, move out of the way. Don't want to squash any of you. Putting that onto there. So that's got a lot of empty frames in there. And then we can shake a lot of them bees off into here when we do that. Getting the bees off of them honey supers. Putting them back onto there. That back onto there. We'll put the crown board back on. And now what we'll do is go into the other hive and see what we've got frame wise in there. We'll leave this open for the time being, got a lot of choice. Right, okay, so we do have some that we want to take out of this. Let's see where we're at with this. Again, bloody earwigs. Does anybody else have this problem with earwigs? Is it just me? Wood lice. So, again, this is a lot of empty supers on here. Just going to have a quick see where we're at with what they've done with framing these out. Started framing them out, which is good. See, started actually filling that. Start filling that. What I may do with these is, again, in the nuke box there, I've got 6 which were empty frames. Now, I may have to move some of these around, put them down into there, or into that. We'll see. I've been working nicely on this, considering. Now this is, I would like to get this down to just a brood and a half, but I'm not going to be able to. So, right. I don't think I'm going to be able to anyway. Let's move that over to there. Now, it's what I can take out of here and what I can't. So, let's move that out of the way. Start combing out these, look. Queen can't come up here, so that can be extracted. And what I'm trying to do is get as many of these out as possible so I can just put the super on here. But when you've got ones like that with cat brood on it, because I've moved it up, that then does become very awkward, because what can I do with it right now? Very, very awkward, because I have nowhere to put it. And again, it's got cat brood on there, so I've got, you know, where I've moved them up, this is where the tricky part starts. There's a lot of cat brood on there as well, as you can see. So this does get slightly tricky, because it looks like I'm going to have to leave this on here. I'm not sure what brood frames that I've got that I can replace in here to take these out. Bit of an awkward one, this. Because I could extract these. But with them supers I've got there, unless I can get them in that other box there and keep this on here, I'm kind of in a bit of a pickle. So I'm not sure, without making any, if I had some empty frames I would take these out. I don't think I've got any empty frames in the garage, you know, empty as like this, which, just to take them out Right, okay, what I'm going to have to do is have a look in that there. Put this back on. And see if I can put these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames that have got drawn comb and some brood on them into that. Just to strengthen that up. So I'll have a look, spin the camera around. It's going to be my luck now that they've worked on this top one. So on this top box, there was all empty frames in there. So let's have a little look, see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have 6. Now these were all empty. Now if they're only drawn comb on them, that'll be okay. So that's empty. So what I can do is get the bees off of there. And I'll take this out and I'll swap it over. I'll move this aside. Hoping that this is going to be the same. Yes, it is, which is good. I do have to be careful because the queen could be up here. This has no queen excluder on it. Move that off. Get rid of that. I might be in luck here. Okay. Get that bee off of there. Obviously, whatever I put in here from that super over there, I have to make sure there's no bees on. That's nice drawn out comb on there, so that's good for me running into next year. So yeah, I can use them up into here, which is really good for me. And then I just leave them that brood box with the honey that's in there. They can use that for over winter, or just take the queen excluder off, and then that'll allow that queen to have the room in them other so then let's put this back down here. What I'll do is even blow them off. You can see no bees on this. And that is from the other hive. We'll get that straight into there. Same again. What I might try and do is brush them off this time. All the bees off again, look. Into there. So, shake the bees off. These horsehair brushes are actually really good. Get rid of that for sweeping the bees around and what have you. Completely off, look. From that hive, I'm moving this from there into here, making sure there is completely no bees in there. And this was going to give me the ability to remove this super from this hive. Because I'm kind of in a situation, I've only got half and half, where I moved a nuke box into that. 6 frames of brood, 6 frames of brood frames, 6 frames of honey frames. So made life slightly awkward when you get to the stage where I'm at now. So all brushed off, completely empty, checking all in the nooks and crannies. And this one. The brush is actually working better than the blower. I think I may need a stronger blower for times like this, but making sure all the bees are off. Completely off of their luck. And these bees in here work on this, and that'll give them some potential stores. Just want to check that one a minute. Yeah. And already them bees are all over this, look. So to get that closed up, what we don't want is any of them other bees going, oh, that's my frames. Excuse me. I'm not going to do a check on this one, not today. Too much to do today. So I'll get this one. I'm right up again, nice and tight. So just get the remainder of the bees off of here. It does have a bit of pollen in it, but it's very small amounts. There's not a lot I can do about that. These are all 11 empty frames now, which is kind of where I needed to get at to relieve this super off of here, taking out the bees, getting them all off, back into their hive. And then what I can do is put all them empty frames into there. And then all I'll do now is remove that queen excluder, get it off, and we'll just winterize that hive there with the 2 broods. That'll be, you know, that's all I can really do, because I've got nowhere or nothing I can do with the brood frames that are in there. So that's taking care of that. That's what I needed to do. So we're going to lift off this brood box. I'm not taking the queen excluder with it, so that's heavy. Turn the camera back around to what we are focusing on. This hive, not that hive. We'll lose this queen excluder and we'll get some apivar in here. Trouble is now, because we do have 2 brood boxes, we will be using 4 strips. I do believe that is the correct manner. Right, let's get all of those bees off of that. So this is no longer going to be needed. Shall we just do our checks while we got this open? Checking up what queen is okay. Checking what room she has to lay. May as well, I'd be stupid not to. The cat brood on them to put the apivar strips alongside. So I recommend that when you put them in, you put them up against cat brood. It'd be nice if we come across the queen straight away, then I could zip through this a lot quicker. It's got a nice bit of laying room in this hive, or on this frame rather. Can't see our queen as yet. Trying to go as quick as I can because I do have the other hive open still. The first one that we went into. There's a nice bit of laying room there, so that's good. And again, not on that frame, I can't see her. As you can see, I know this frame here I can see has a nice bit of honey store on it, but you know, as it stands, I mean, that's full of cat brood there. The whole thing is full of cat brood. Excuse me, well, now since I sneezed, I've now got a snozzy nose. Again, can't see any signs of the queen on there. But then again, she wouldn't be because it's all capped up. So there's nothing for her to do on that one. Oh dear. There's the queen, right there. Green dot on this one. She's a 2024 queen. So we'll get that back in there, keep her nice and safe, and we know that she's there. Okay, so that's good. That's just what we want to see. She seems to be laying good. So that one there had good cat brood on it. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth one in. Let's put the apivar strip in. That's got a bit of decent cat brood on that one as well, each side. So if we go with the fact that I'm going to spin that one around, the third one in, 1, 2, 3, will be the fourth one in actually. Lots of larvae in that one. And as you can see, they wouldn't have a lot of honey stores, so you know they've got a little bit going on there. So with what we've got on that brood box there, with the honey that's on it, that should kind of definitely help the situation. So there's not loads on there, but there is. Put that way around. And then we'll get the apivar strips into this. So they are over there. So like we did with the other one, is we're going to put our own now screw through the apivar strip. It holds it a heck of a lot better than their provided bits that they've got. These do tend to move things around. So there we have the now in there. So I've lost count of what one we said, so I'm not going to get too, I'm going to just put that into there. Trying to drop it down in. In we go, like so. Same with this one. Putting the screw into it again. Like so. And we'll put that in here. Like so. What I should have done with that is put that right on the end. See if I can move that. Bees are fascinated with it. You know, what's this in our home all of a sudden? So right now we can move this back on the top. Making sure it's all nicely closed up. Now, because we have another brood box on here, we have to use another two. I do believe that is the correct manner of what I've been looking into. Put them back in there for the time being. 2 brood boxes, 4 strips. And again, we're just going to go into the catching on something there. That's it. Put that one there. I'll put this one in there. We'll drop this one into here. And basically, what happens with these strips is the bees crawl over them. Cat brood emerges and they crawl over these strips. When they're crawling all over them strips, they're also crawling all over the hive. And then basically what that then does, it then puts that varroa, what it is on them strips, over all of that hive. And then effectively, what happens is it kills or gets the varroa is a beetle, a very, very small beetle, and it kills that beetle off, or it certainly lowers the beetle count. So you need that on your winter bees over the winter period, because otherwise the varroa over the winter period will kill your bees, because the numbers will enlarge. So we've got this one down to a decent size. We've seen the queen in there. They do have winter stores of honey. She now has plenty of laying room. I'm not going to be greedy, so I've got that nice and strong. Now we'll go back over and we'll sort this one out. Okay then, so we'll get the varroa strips into this hive. Let me just put this over here for the minute. Right, so off with the queen excluder again. just placing that down there. And I do need to offload this. This super box, so I just put that onto there. Just for the minute. Okay, so let's get the Varroa strips here. Do have 4 left. Place that one into there, like so. Just dropping it in there, like so. That we're looking for this particular hive. So they're in there. Let's get this back on. That back onto there, like so. Now, the trouble I have now is I have no screw. Needed 1 screw really. 2 screws. So I'll cut these in half because we're introducing this to a super. 1 whole strip, if I put it in there, would then drop down into the other one. I don't want to do that, so I drop that into there, like so. What I may do for the time being is, once I've got all the bees out of this box into there, I'm going to put that other super on for the time being, just to give them the room that they need. I'm going to just put that one into there, and then I'm going to put the super, which I've relieved out of the other hive, which we know. Let's just move them bees out of the way. Now what we'll do is, I don't need the queen exclude on here now. So I'll do the same. We'll get these bees. All I want to do is open up some room. Let's get this sat on correctly, like so. Let's move these out the way for the minute. Get my brush. Where's my brush? There. And we can start like that. That is an empty box there anyway, so I had a bit of a nightmare there actually. Didn't need to use this one because I already had one. So, bit of a nightmare there. Get them off. Place that over there out the way, along with that. And when I say about, you know, real life beekeeping, this is it. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. Okay, so we have an empty super box here for our room for the time being. And now we've got to get these bees out of this box and the box below into there. So wish me luck with that one. What I could potentially do with, before I do this, is if I remove these frames out of here, so now I have an empty box that we can now potentially start moving them on back into here. So, okay, so yes, and I am potentially doing it the hard way. You're probably all going, Jesus, why are you doing it like that? But, you know, it is what it is. I do have the blower, but this brush is good for this. I'm not going to lie. I think it's horsehair brush. So we do have a lot of bees to get off. But they'll all go back inside. They'll all find their way back into this hive. Shaking them off, firstly. Nice empty. So people do it all different ways. I did have the escape doors I could have used, but there you go. This isn't too bad to do. It's not harming the bees in any which way or form. They're okay. It's a very, very soft brush. Getting them all off. Don't want any in the house whilst we're doing this. In this particular hive sat a good 4 weeks behind the hive number 1 that I originally had there. And it's behind for the simple fact that when I'd done the split, I let all the foragers go back into the original hive, and it set this hive back that amount of time, a good 3 to 4 weeks. That's why a month ago we extracted the honey out of the hive that was there, and you know, we're a month up the road now, and now we're doing it out of this hive. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so we're back. Now we have the empty box, and we'll do the same process again. Makes it a little bit easier when you've got that empty box just to put them bees into. It really does. keeping it off the ground. So, same again. Give them a good shake off. There we go. All off of there. In the box we go. And to be fair, even though I'm doing this, you know, they're very good. They're very good bees, aren't they? Look, they're not even up round me. They're, you know, they're being fantastically good. Bear in mind, I'm taking their honey. They're amazing bees, these. They really are amazing bees. Oh, sugar. Just shaking them all off. And they're happily just falling into their hive. We're nearly there. We're getting there. Nice and slowly, we're getting there. Rushing them all off. If you're new to this, you've just picked this up today, you've come across it on YouTube. My name is Danny, and this is my journey, and it's been my journey from the very beginning of April. This is what I call true time beekeeping, true life beekeeping, and anybody that feels they want to do it but can't, it can be done. I was the same. I thought I'd do my journey so everybody could see how my journey went and whether I succeeded in doing it. And yeah, this is it, guys. Pick it up, subscribe, free to subscribe, cost you no money to subscribe. Please hit the like button, please share. The more we can get this out there, the more other people will learn. You know, that's what it's all about, isn't it? I don't, you know, edit out my mistakes. I try to keep it as true as possible. And it's been a lovely, long journey, and I'm going to miss it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Close them up. So we've got the correct gaps on with the crown board. We don't need the queen excluder. Varroa strips are in. Just knocking out any giving it a sweep out. Don't want to attract any kind of predators. On with a lid. And there we have it. Let me move this out of the way just quickly, because we do have a couple of bees trying to get back on it. We'll strap this back up. Okay guys, so there we have it. So we've been into that hive. We've managed to get reliever super from there and put the relevant frames with no bees, make sure they have no bees on them, into the super nuke that we had there. So we had a 6-frame super, if you call it, on the top of that nuke box, which was empty of frames, so that relieved them to get that down, and we'll just leave that with 2 brood boxes. They've got plenty of stalls in there that have taken them over the winter, or would certainly help. We've done the Varroa in there, 4 strips, Varroa in there, because we have 2 brood boxes with 11 frames each, 22 frames in there. So I do believe that's correct. We have had the Varroa in there now for 2 weeks. I may do an inspection on that tomorrow if I've got time, and I'll add another. I've got 1 more Varroa strip there. I may add that into that. I may even do that in a minute quickly before I go, because I have 1 strip left. And last but not least, we've now got to the bottom of this one. This is the one that had the 2 supers of honey in it. So we've got them out. We've introduced the Varroa strips into there. So it's got 2 full Varroa strips for the brew box, and we've cut 1.5, 1 into half, and we've put it into the super box. So that should be the right amount that these hives needs. We'll go in, we'll record it, the date, the time, so we know when we've done that. We'll leave them for roughly around about 8 to 6 weeks. We now don't need any queen excluders. They're gone. We don't need them in there, because, you know, the more laying room that queen has, the better for the time being. I'm expecting to probably see some bearding going on here, because we've now lowered these. But what we'll do is we're going to go inside now. We're going to extract these frames of honey. We're going to do some videos on that. And then when we've got the empty frames, later today I'll come back out and I'll put them onto these 2 hives, and we'll let the bees clean them all up. Once they're all cleaned up, after a couple of days, we'll remove them. So we're back to this height of the hives again, and we'll get them into the freezer. I'm not going to be able to do them all, because we're talking of 22 frames, but hopefully we can get a large amount, 6 at a time in there, freeze them, and what that does is that gets rid of any necessary things that may be within them frames, i.e. wax moth or anything like that. So if you freeze it for 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, then we put it in an airtight box, and that should be good to keep all framed out for next year's season, when they're already combed out, and then that will give me a massive head start on what I had this year with all empty frames. So next year is going to be interesting. I'm going to hopefully get double the amount of honey next year that I had this year. And bear in mind, I've only just started this year. They generally say you don't get a lot of honey for your first year. So I've had 44 frames of honey this year. So yeah, I think I've done pretty well considering. But keep posted, guys. If you're new to this, you just picked it up, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Hit the like button, share it, let's get it out there. This is true time beekeeping. This is how it is, you know. And also small time beekeeping. We've got 3 hives, 2.5 if you like. So anybody that's thinking about bringing up going into bees, you know, you want to do it, but you're not sure, do it. Do your research. Watch videos like I'm doing here. See it for yourself. You've got all winter to make up your mind. You do have an open vowlet. I've been doing this videoing all this work with this hives, unbeknown to me, with an open. And there you go. This is how placid these bees are. I've not had one go in there, you know, and it could have. So you've got, you know, all winter to watch these videos. And if you want to do it, go with your heart and do it. So until next time, or until we go into the kitchen, ciao for now. Welcome back. So we started doing the extracting. We've done nearly all of them. I thought I'd show a quick video. There's all the wax cappings, all different yellows. And I'm using this time. I'm using that because I didn't seem to get on with the knife too well. But I'm doing the extracting. It's in the extractor. Got one in there at the moment. And we've been going through them. I've only got, as you can see, a couple left. So, yeah, all good. Excuse the dog. And we're just picking it off with this, like so.
One it is. No, not Toy Story. You know what I mean? Oh, Despicable Me. Yeah. It's hardly what to get. I said, oh, do you want to come to the cinema with me and Harry? I said, I know it's a kids' film. He said, do you know what, I would have, except...
So welcome back. Yes, so it's been an interesting day today. So we've been in the hives, we got the supers out, we obviously brought them indoors, done the extracting. Yeah, that was done really well. As you can see, we had a full bucket of honey. So I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how, you know, the outcome went and, you know, how it all went. So, yeah, we're going to leave that bucket now for 24, maybe 48 hours. Just let the air bubbles, because we've obviously taken it from the extractor bucket. It's gone through the filter. It's gone into the bucket, you know, the stainless steel bucket at the end. It's filtered all the remaining wax out of it. Then we pour it into that bucket as we've seen in the video. And then what we do is we then just move airtight lid on it. We move that away. And I'll just sit it in the back room there. And we'll just sit it there for 24, 48 hours. And all the air bubbles from moving it, that they then just work their way up to the top and disperse, basically. And then what we'll do is we'll get the cling film, as you may well have seen in previous videos. We'll get the cling film, put a nice layer of cling film on the top of that bucket. Just because basically what you get is you just get a little excess of the wax on there. Just a small bit that the filter just can't take away. So you put a small amount, or just one layer of cling film over the top of that bucket, and then you just peel it off, and that just removes that remaining last tiny bit, and then you've just got a bucket of clear, pure honey. And then what we'd do is we'd jar that up, you know. So really pleased with the outcome today. You know, when we went into them hives a couple of weeks ago, we could see the potential of honey there in them supers, but they wasn't capped over. So I put it off a week, then I put it off another week, and we did have some really good weather, you know, and that helps. Granted, I feel if we had some really crap weather over the last 2 weeks, I probably would have been like, what do I do? Because it would have been half and half. I'd have half capped and half not. So it would have been a bit of a tricky one where I would have gone with that one. But as it was, we've had blinding weather over the last couple of weeks. Really how it matters. And just giving it that extra week, we then had the bees cap off that last bit. We shuffled a few about. Obviously, underneath the queen excluder, we had better capped frames of honey, only 2 or 3. And all I've done was, as you see in the video, I just took them out and used them to extract, and a couple that was above the queen. I always say queen excluder. We took them out and we just put them we just put them back into the hive for the bees, because they've got plenty of resources, and they would just finish them off. So it just makes sense just to, you know, when you get to this situation, just have a look what you've got. You can shuffle them around. You can do that. You've seen it in the video. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the outcome of that. So everything's cleaned up now. And the beauty of honey is cold water, hose pipe, nice good jet on it. Get it out in the garden and just blast it down with cold water. Cleans that off lovely. Stainless steel, blast it off with cold water. Really cleans it up lovely. It really does. You know, you don't need to start adding soaps and stuff like that, because it's, you know, you don't need to. Basically, just give it a really good wash down with cold water. Blast it all off with your hose pipe. Give it a good wipe out. Dry it all off. And the beauty of doing this is, you know, we've had a cracking day today. So it's still, you know, it was still warm when I washed it all out. The sun was still out. Just leave it in the sun. Let the sun dry it all out, and it is amazing. It really does clean it off beautiful. Packed it all away, put it in the garage, and unfortunately, I'm not now going to use that till next year. But it's all nice and clean. It's all packed away. So what we'll do is we'll leave that tub of honey. We'll do some videos later when we jar it up and what have you. I'll put the 2 supers, we put them back on to the hives. Bees will clean all them off and make them nice and clean, and basically all I'll have is frames of just pure combed out, you know, ready for next year. Gives me a massive head start. But what we will do is we'll bring them in, we'll pop them in the freezer, we'll freeze them, kills off any kind of wax moth, anything that you don't want. You know, we clean them off, as I previously said, in the freezer. And then we'll just pop them into an airtight box and we'll store them in the garage. And then later in later come January, even February, when we get some really cold spells, when we get a nice bit of frost, all I do is I'll get my empty wooden supers stroke brew boxes, and I'll just sit them in the garden. And then when we get that freeze, I will let them boxes freeze out there, and anything within them boxes as such, them empty boxes, because they're only going to be empty because we've already done the frames, we've already froze the frames, we've got the frames stored away. Anything in them boxes with that heavy freeze on them, again, it just kill anything that's on them, you know. Some do, some don't. That's what I'm going to do. That's my preference. So yeah, so that's about it for tonight. Basically, I had a cracking day with it all. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. First and foremost, feel free, any questions, any answers, if I can, I will. I always try to answer anybody's questions if I can. Feel free to subscribe. Costs you nothing to subscribe. And until next time, when we go out to the hives, next time, what we're going to be doing when we go out there, we'll still do our checks. Maybe we don't need to go 7 days. We could probably stretch it out now, every 10 days, possibly. Queen's not going to be laying so many eggs now. You know, the days are getting shorter. Queen's laying less. We've got the Verona strips in there. We've recorded when we put them in there. 6 to 8 weeks. I'll probably go 7 in between them both. And then so all the excitement's coming to an end, but you still got to do your relevant checks, keep everything where it needs to be. So until next time, guys, ciao for now.